The UAAP bans Ateneo coaching staff who were present during the Blue Eagles' deadly team-building activity in Dipakulaw, Aurora. Tindig Pilipinas raises the alarm over the Senate Majority Bloc's plans to designate Senator Cheese Escudero as impeachment trial presiding officer. Oil tankers sail through the Strait of Hormuz as an interim deal to end the war between the US and Iran takes effect. P-pop star and SB19 member Justin releases his new solo song, Dahon. And Eala beats world number 2 Elena Rybakina in the Berlin Tennis Open in Germany. The UAAP bans Ateneo coaching staff who were present during the Blue Eagles' deadly team-building activity in Dipakulaw, Aurora. The ill-fated training claimed the lives of players Baterbonia and Adili. Coaches present during the June 8 incident include now-resigned head coach Tab Baldwin and assistant coaches Dean Castaño, John Jacinto, and Sandro Soriano. They are prohibited from taking part in any UAAP-related activities in any capacity, effective immediately. The league says the preemptive measure is intended to preserve the integrity of an ongoing inquiry and to ensure full transparency and due process. No sanctions have been handed down yet by the UAAP in relation to the deaths of Baterbonia and Adili. Meantime, members of the Ateneo de Manila University's graduating class of 2026 wore black armbands during their commencement ceremony Friday, June 19. The graduating class says it is an outcry for transparency, justice, and accountability for the deaths of Rene and Divine.
Atenista, walk out now! Atenista, walk out now!
The Ateneo Seniors Alliance says the community was left with anger, loss, and pain that is unlikely to disappear come graduation day. Tindig Pilipinas raises the alarm over the Senate Majority Bloc's plans to designate Senator Cheese Escudero as presiding officer for Vice President Sara Duterte's impeachment trial. The coalition of civil society groups says the argument that Escudero is best suited for the role because of his legal background is unconvincing. The group recalls Escudero's role in the initial stages of Duterte's impeachment proceedings when he served as Senate President. Tindig Pilipinas says, in a Senate composed of imperfect options, we recognize the tactical considerations that may have informed this plan. But among the available options, this is perhaps the most imperfect and one of the most dangerous. It cites Escudero's, quote, twisted interpretation of the constitutional directive to proceed forthwith, which became his basis for delaying the process. Under Escudero's leadership, the Senate archived the articles of impeachment against Duterte on August 6, 2025. The possibility of Escudero serving as presiding officer was first raised by Senator Ping Lacson Wednesday, June 17. An interim deal to end the war between the US and Iran takes effect as oil tankers sail through the Strait of Hormuz. But key issues remain unresolved between the two countries. Oil prices dropped to their lowest level since the war began on February 28, as analysts say exports through the strait could return to normal in the coming months. The deal gives negotiators 60 days to reach an agreement on the status of Iran's nuclear program and sets up a $300 billion reconstruction fund for Iran and other financial incentives. Even then, Israel continues its war against Hezbollah in Lebanon, raising questions about whether the agreement would hold. Some of US President Donald Trump's Republican allies in Congress also question whether he had given up too much in order to end the conflict. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Mojtaba Khamenei says Trump signed the deal out of desperation. P-pop star and SB19 member Justin releases his new solo song, Dahon, Friday, June 19. The track, written by fellow singer Maki, is described as a vow of timeless love in an ever-changing world. Dahon is the singer's fourth solo project. He also holds a silent art auction with his original artworks on display at the venue. Attendees can submit their bids on the art pieces. Pieces from other artists and fans are also on display. He says a portion of the revenue will be donated to organizations supporting environmental conservation and sustainability. Eala barges into the quarterfinals of the Berlin Tennis Open in Germany with one of the biggest victories of her young career. The 21-year-old shocks world number 2 Elena Rybakina. Eala pulled off a giant 7-5, 6-4 upset in the round of 16 of the WTA 500 tournament at the Steffi Graf Stadium on Thursday, June 18. The Filipina tennis ace prevails in key moments as she gets her redemption after a straight sets loss to Rybakina in the round of 32 of the Italian Open in May. When asked about going against such a strong contender as Rybakina, Eala says, "I think you have to give yourself grace while also being brave. And I think for me a highlight word would be to be brave, and it makes a big difference when I'm able to do that." The win raised Eala's record in matches against top 10 players to 5-4 overall and 3-2 in 2026. Another top 10 foe awaits Eala as she battles world number 8 Elena Rybakina of Ukraine in the quarterfinals on Friday, June 19. And that's today's wrap. I'm JC Gotinga. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. For more updates, download the wRap app.